Adorable charms, you're most welcome to Everything Literature, where you get to learn about everything concerning drama, prose, the most inspiring poetry. Take a seat and enjoy the class.
In one of our previous classes on drama, it was established that drama as a literary genre is a staged act realized in performance. Drama comes from the Greek word dran, meaning to do or to act. And to make do of a stellar kind of performance, there is a need to be familiar with some concepts or techniques peculiar to drama. Hence, you're most welcome to today's class on features of drama. For today's class, the word features of drama may be used interchangeably with dramatic techniques. And when we talk about features of drama or dramatic techniques, these are the features or techniques that are often used in drama to achieve its aims as a genre of literature and for the sake of mimesis, that is, imitation of life. To make today's class well structured, we're going to look at the basic or the fundamental aspect of features of drama. Then we'll take a look at the technical aspect, the technical angle to dramatic techniques. In total, we're going to be looking at about 20 dramatic techniques. And for the basic aspect, we have about 10. And the technical aspect, we have another 10. Under the basic aspect, we'll take a look at characterization, dialogue, act and scenes, mime, costume, music and dance, prologue, epilogue, interlude, deco and scenery. And on the technical aspect, we take a look at flashback and foreshadowing, soliloquy, aside, the concept of three unities, Deus and Machina, Catharsis, chorus, narrator, the fourth wall, prompter, tragic flow, or what we call amateur. In our class on elements of drama, one of the basic elements of drama that we identified happens to be character. So in today's class, we'll take a look at characterization. Characterization, this is a device that the author uses to introduce the character, that is the person, and the personality of the character, that is the behavior, the opinion, the views, and so on. Characterization may also be achieved by what the other characters think about a character. So character is like the person, characterization is like the personality given to the person, how the person is to think, how the person is to behave. This is quite different from the person as a character. So in simple terms, the word we can use to summarize what characterization is about is the word role. What is the role given to a character to play? Dialogue. This is one of the bedrocks of drama. It involves verbal communication between the actors on stage. It is used to convey information from actor to actor and also from the actors to the audience. In real life, dialogue simply means two or more talking, because the word log means talking or to talk. A monologue means one person talking, because mono simply means one and log means talking. Okay, it's that simple. Next is deco or scenery. This has to do with the setting and decoration of the stage for a performance. So before we can have a play being staged, there is a need to identify where is it going to be staged, how do we want to have the setting look like, do we want it to look as if it's in the night or in the daytime, do we want it to look like a forest kind of setting, or it should be like a living room or a shop or a school setting kind of. So this has to do with the scenery or the decor, the setting. Mime. Another name for mime is pantomime, or what we call damn show. It's actually identified as one of types of drama, and this has to do with a form of communication without dialogue. It refers to the use of gestures, facial expressions, and movement to convey emotions and actions. So normally we're expected to talk whenever we want to express our thoughts and feelings, but whenever we do that without actually making use of words, or we just use gestures and facial expressions alone, then we refer to that as mime, especially when it's done on stage during a dramatic presentation. Costume has to do with the attires worn by characters on stage. It involves how characters dress as well. Costume is used to show the social status of the characters, the time in which the play is set, and other things. So anything related to the dressing or the dress code or the dress manner of the characters on stage, then we refer to that as the costume. However, costume should not be confused for props. Costume has everything related to the dressing of the characters on stage. Props has to do with everything, the materials used on stage. So props is not one of the things we're considering right now. Okay, but it's just important that we do not confuse costume for props. Costume can be part of the props actually. Next we have music and dance. The choice of music is also essential in the passing across a message when performing drama on stage. Music has to do with the choice of sounds and effects used at the background. It either reflects the social sensibility of the play or add to the flavor. Dance is an aspect that add to the theoretical performance as well. Acts and scenes. Drama is divided into acts and scenes. It is used to make it easier for audience and the actors to flow and understand the play. An act is made up of a series of scenes. In fact, what distinguishes drama in the first place as a genre of literature compared to poetry and prose is because drama is written in acts and scenes. Prose is written in chapters and paragraphs, while poetry is in lines and stanzas. So act and scenes, it's one of the bedrocks of drama as well. Prologue. Can you still remember what we said log means? Log simply means to talk. So when we say prologue, pro means before. Okay, so a prologue is an introduction to a play which comes before the commencement of a dramatic performance. It is usually in form of a short opening speech. So a speech given at the beginning of a play or before the commencement of a performance is what we refer to as prologue. Epilogue. Epilogue is exactly the opposite of prologue. Epi means at the end. So a kind of speech given at the end of a play or a final address at the end of a dramatic performance. That's what I mean by epilogue. Interlude is a short performance between the acts of a play that provides some kind of relief for the audience, especially in a serious play. So we interlude. So we can refer to interlude as a kind of break, should I say a short break in between a performance. So most especially if the play is actually serious, then we have something like an interlude. Okay, sometimes the interlude comes as a kind of comic relief in a tragedy, but not necessarily, because the interlude can be in form of a song presentation or a poetry recitation, or something quite different, a little bit different in between a performance. Then moving to the technical aspects or technical features of drama, the first we'll consider is the concept of three unities. Older plays traditionally aimed at conveying a sense of cohesiveness and unity, and one of the classical poetic laws to achieve this goal was the idea of three unities. We have the three unities to be unity of time, unity of plot, and unity of place. This is a technique developed to account for how drama is to achieve unity in terms of the three concepts mentioned: action, place, and time. Unity of time has to do with the play must occur within 24 hours or revolution of the sun. Okay, that is within a day. The place must be within a particular geographical location, while the unity of action means it must flow concurrently without having any form of subplot. Okay, so unity of time, unity of place, unity of action. Of these three makes up the concept of three unities. Have you ever had a dream before whereby you saw yourself fighting a monster or so, and when it appeared that the monster was about to destroy you, alas, an angel, possibly Superman, came into the scene and said, and boom, you woke up hell and out. Don't be scared yet, it's just a dream, okay? And thank goodness for Deus Machina. Now, talking about Deus Machina, this is a technique in literature or drama as a genre specifically that involves the introduction of a person or a thing, a supernatural force, so to say, who offers a solution to a difficult situation. So, going back to that dream, the fact that you saw an angel or possibly Superman coming into the picture to save you, that's what we call Deus Machina. Okay, flashback. Flashback simply means remembering something from the past. That is, this is used in drama to bring about more information about the present by revisiting the past. That is, recalling events from the past. Now, something that looks like flashback, or the opposite of flashback actually, is foreshadowing. This device is used by the writer to hint at something that will happen later in the story. It usually appears at the beginning of a story or compulsorily in order to make the reader look forward to what is to happen. So if we consider some epic movies, at the end of a particular episode, they get to make use of foreshadowing just to give us an hint on what's going to happen in the next episode. Tragic flaw, or what we call hamartia. Hamartia, this is the natural weakness which a tragic hero, possibly in a tragedy, possesses. The tragic flaw normally leads to the death or serious misfortune of a tragic hero. Technically, tragic flaw is referred to as hamartia. It's just as simple as that. When we come across the term hamartia, it simply means we're talking about tragic flaw, that is a natural weakness. Remember what we said about log? Log simply means to talk. Dialogue means two or more talking. Monologue simply means one person talking. Great. So when we talk about soliloquy is a technique used to make the audience aware of a character's thoughts It is the act of talking aloud to oneself without paying attention to the presence of others. Other characters are not obliged to act otherwise or unaware. Okay, so what this means is that soliloquy is a form of monologue, not actually dialogue. It's a form of monologue that is talking to oneself. It's more or less like one person talking. Now the next, which is aside, looks more or less like soliloquy. But the difference is that aside is used to pass information to the audience by an actor in a manner such that other characters on stage act otherwise or unaware. So in this case, while in soliloquy, characters on stage are not obliged to act otherwise. For aside to be achieved, the characters on stage need to act otherwise. They act as if they're not aware, they act as if they can't even hear what the other character is saying, and it's just a deliberate act so that we can achieve aside as a technique. Catharsis. This is a release of powerful emotions through a work of art. Catharsis purges the mind of any unwanted emotions. This is usually achieved the most in tragedy. In most cases, catharsis is demonstrated by the shedding of tears and the like. So now you remember what to call it whenever you watch a love story or any tragic story and you feel like crying for the character. That's catharsis working on you. According to Aristotle, it's more or less like a medicinal effect, a kind of therapeutic effect of drama. Chorus or narrator. The narrator is the person who tells the story. Chorus are a group of singers who, through their intervention, provide insights as the story develops. So when we look at some drama text, we usually have a narrator starting the presentation, giving us a kind of background, a kind of exposition into the events that will unfold in the drama. Our chorus, they're usually seated like a group of singers somewhere, maybe at the corner of the stage, trying to beat drums or sing melodiously. We talked about music as one of the features of drama, so they offer the music effect to the drama. Their music is not just for music's sake, it's actually to enhance the plot development of the play of the story. Next, we have the fourth wall. The fourth wall is the breaking down of partition, or should I say the use of curtain, in order that the audience may witness and understand the drama. It is more or less like the boundary between the fiction and the audience. So there are some stage performances, majorly in churches and the likes, whereby before the audience get to see the stage directly, there is a curtain that is being used. Okay, and at intervals, the curtains are being drawn and being closed after each scene. So this can be referred to as the fourth wall. Okay, so and in most cases, it's left open so that the audience can have access to what is actually going to be happening on the stage. Last but not the least, we have the prompter. Okay, to act our play is not quite easy. Remembering the script, remembering the lines, putting on the right gestures, facial expressions. So there are times whereby in between all of these, the characters may forget the lines. So there is always someone at the back of the stage, or should I say, at the back of the curtain. Okay? So a prompter is a person who stays out of sight during a dramatic performance to remind actors of lines which may escape their memory. Okay, so the work of the prompter is actually to remind the actors on stage whatever lines they've forgotten. Remember that too. In most cases, after the class, we do have a slide that reminds us everything we've learned so far. So that can be used as a metaphor of who a prompter is. Okay, so and here we have a prompter. Dramatic techniques. What have we learned so far? We've learned about the basic features of dramatic techniques and the technical aspect of it. We discussed about 10 basic aspects and 10 other technical aspects about dramatic techniques. And with this, we've come to the end of today's class on features of drama, or what we can say to be dramatic techniques. The list of features of drama are not really restricted to these 20. We have more than 20, but just decided to select these 20 to discuss for today's class. So do not forget to hit the subscription button if you've not yet subscribed. Do well to like the video as well, and also let me get to know your thoughts in the comment section below. See you in the next class. Bye.